Hi, Shae Russell here, editor of the Daily Reckoning Australia, and I just thought we'd take a quick look at what's happening with the steel tariffs that the US is proposing. Now, at the moment, Donald Trump is going to hold a press conference overnight in the US and is lobbying some fines at the Chinese government for theft of intellectual property rights. And we'll get some more information about what's happening with these steel tariffs that he's planning to throw at the country as well. Now, what we know so far is that Canada and Mexico and Australia are all likely to be exempt from steel tariffs. So that's probably good news for shareholders of BlueScope Steel, as BlueScope Steel does have a heavy manufacturing steel import business in the US. However, whether Australia receives these tariffs directly or we're still going to feel the effects indirectly, because again, whatever happens with China happens to us, and we cannot minimise that impact. So last year, China imported a record amount of iron ore. Last year, China imported 1.07 billion tonnes of iron ore, beating 2016 record of 1.02 billion tonnes of iron ore. Now, of 2017's amount, Brazil provided 20% of that iron ore. However, Australia provided 60% of that iron ore to China. So we sent about 600 million tonnes of iron ore over to China. So we have a problem here, because iron ore, when it gets to China, is generally turned into steel. And if the US starts applying trade tariffs to China for their steel imports, well, that will have a flow-on effect to us. So this is something I actually discussed with Jim Rickards yesterday over the phone in our Skype interview. And this is very much about how Australia is at the mercy of trade decisions between the US and China. Whatever America does to China affects us. It slows their ability to consume our products. However, the US is our #1 military ally, so we tend to not want to get on their bad side too much. As Jim summed up quite neatly, he said Australia is very much in the crosshairs. I actually feel that not many people are realising the impact of what these trade tariffs will mean for China. This is also something I'm going to explore in next week's Daily Reckoning. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you tune in. Until then, I hope to hear from you. Comment below if you've got anything to say, and I'll speak to you next week. Thanks.